This is the best of 5 Kvoth versus the Mista. It is Oasis, Kvoth going in with Gaia, arguably one of his best gods, especially from the original game, going against the Mista's Noir. Oasis, normally quite a defensive kind of boomy map, so this is what we are going to see from these two players. I'm also just going to quickly put some in-game noise on. I turn it off when I play, but I think it'll be nice to have it for this. So what do we see happening here? Kvoth going straight in with the classic Gaia strategy of getting pickaxe, hand axe really, really early. The pickaxe coming in, you can see how cheap these upgrades are. There's no reason not to get them if you're going for some kind of boomy style, and it's exactly what we're going to see Kvoth going through here. We just have a look at how this map's kind of situated here. So normally Oasis is, I mean, first of all, there's a few ways for Oasis to spawn. It looks like we've got the 2 kind of pond variant. Sometimes you just get 1 large one, sometimes you get 4, and this is probably, I'd say, the most aggressive of them. There's no aggressive versions, but this one here, you've got a couple of forward kind of middle gold mines to fight over. There is a second gold mine here that could be somewhat easily moved onto, which is pretty close to your starting side. There's also very limited hunt on Oasis. So if we see from Kvoth's perspective, he's got his 3 giraffes here. These hyenas aren't really much. Got some monkeys up the top, but basically just goats. There's hardly any huntables. And then for the Mista, he's got his monkeys over here. Then coming down, where are his giraffes? His giraffes are also in the middle. So this does look like a bit more of an aggressive variety, to be honest. Maybe this town center is going to somewhat secure this gold mine. It doesn't look like there's any really good town centers. Like this one is in the middle of nowhere. There's not even any trees next to it. This is not ideal. I mean, you can move on to the gold mine. Oasis is a large map. So even if you go for a 2 town center and the town center isn't the best, you can still kind of make it work. Unlike other maps, you need a good second town center to actually go for that one. And we see the Mista getting his Quafu Chieftain, which is the hero Quafu. Very, very strong economic unit. It has a ridiculous build rate, gather rate, everything rate. So you want to get him out as soon as possible. If you want to copy this build, what it basically is Hero Quafu gets enough gold, Hero Quafu goes onto wood, everything else to food, because these guys are the best at gathering food, and then you go into getting your Hero Chieftain Quafu out, and then to the next stage. It's a very, very simple build, and it's very effective if you're playing against Noir, or playing as Noir even. And it looks like the Mista is going for a second town center. If you see 2 left on the food, that's normally what's going to happen there. It looks like he's split his Quafus up from this side and this side, so that's second town center material for me. Now we see the Gaia going later to the classical age, kind of to be expected. The Chinese advance very, very quickly. They can advance very, very quickly if they want to. And we'll see if Kvoth decides to go for a town center. It is very close, and this is the gold mine he'll probably want to go for soon anyway. So I wouldn't surprise me if we see this TC being grabbed, to be honest. And he is going through Oceanus, which is kind of the standard play. Maybe Leto has seen a bit more play recently, but I mean, maybe I wouldn't advise it. I don't know. Not against the Chinese anyway, because they have these pioneers. Pioneers early are very, very strong. Looks like the Mista's just coming in for a little scout action here. We can change to his perspective. He's trying to see if Kvoth wants to go for that thing. And actually, we get the Clay Peasant Rush coming up. I have seen this been played. So I saw this from, I can't remember the guy's name, but his his account is One Kitten Claw, which is a copy of Puppy Paw. But 9 cat, that's it. 9 racing cat. So what he's going to do here is get the immediate tower, and it's kind of like a tower rush. You get the tower rush here, and that's pushing Kvoth off of this gold mine. This is his best other gold mine as well. And we see the tower rush coming in. The Mista not going for the town center, but getting the resources in to just do a tower rush with these clay peasants, getting a second one up. The walls are already in for Kvoth. Maybe he expected this if he's played against this. Chong-Chi coming in, very strong raiding unit. We've got the Caladuate coming in to deny this. I'm not sure whether it'll actually go down. You can't really deal too much damage to this. Straight away, we're getting watchtowers, and we get the Earth Wall coming in just there. Maybe he'll be able to garrison inside the town center, because what you can do with these is you can dive through. Thing is about the Earth Wall, if it's not finished, you can just shank it down, and it will cause a little bit of idle time with these, but he should be absolutely fine. Now, one reason why Atlantean are quite good into the Chinese is these termers to take down these early pioneers. Termers into the Pioneers can be very, very strong. Take those down nice and early. And it looks like we've got double tower rush coming in. These guys just chopping a little bit of wood before they die off. I don't even know whether they'll make up for the cost of that silo there, but I'm sure they do. I'm sure the Mister's done his homework on that. And this is just a little bit of early pressure. Now, what is he doing on the back of this? Is this guy going over to get a town center? Yes, he is. So, bit of aggro on the back of that, getting a town center. And he needs to manually focus these. This is in range of this unit here, I'm pretty sure. It attacked it earlier, but maybe just going for the watchtowers. Watchtowers on either side. This does stop Kvoth getting his own town center. He does have the resources for it as well. But it depends what Kvoth's going to decide to do here. Just looking at getting out Terma to start with. Looks like he wants to go for some harass. He knows that the Mister's probably going to go for that town center. Town center is almost up, so isn't really going to be able to stop this one. Luckily for the Mister, the Pioneers run off in time. I say luckily, I think he saw it from his lantern. So nice heads-up play to see those there. Getting some scouting action in. Now Kvoth needs to put on a bit of pressure with his Terma. He's had pressure on his end, and he hasn't got his town center up. So needs to make something happen. Is he going for this town center? Yeah, looks like he's just ignoring the back one, going for this forward town center. There is a gold mine on it, so it's not a bad one. Getting a mana up to be safe if any Pioneers come over, but he can obviously just train the Termas whenever he wants. Termas coming in to deal with the peasants, pushes them off. Nice little bit of idle time. And the towers and military camps are going to fight each other for the remainder of their lives. We didn't really look at any of the relics here, so we've got myth units extra speed, that's not bad. Hero lifesteal, could be interesting. Wall hit points, 40% base. Then ranged soldiers, movement speed. What is that? Oh, snare. Snare on your ranged units. Oh, that one's worded so weirdly. But basically, has a snare on your ranged units, which could be pretty good for the Terma hit and run, to be honest. If Kvoth has seen that one. It was this one, wasn't it? Yeah, looks like he has seen it. That was the Mister's perspective. Tell you what. But he has also seen it. Then nice little bit of chip damage off on those Pioneers. You can juke the Terma arrows, but does still take some damage there. You need to dodge as soon as they fire, basically. And they do have a bit of a wind-up animation, so if you're used to their attack pattern, you definitely can dodge some of the arrows. Not saying it's easy, but it is possible. Town Center coming up about a minute 30 behind the Misters. As we can see, Kvoth is 5 villagers down. Also, Gaia gets out villagers, or Atlantean in general gets out villagers faster than any other civ, so he's a little bit behind. Hero Citizen is here, can shank down the Chongqi here. There's 2 Hero Citizens. He can just turn around and hit that. Maybe this guy needs to be a bit careful, but Caladria can come back and heal that up. Also, if he could just push one of these giraffes back in, then actually this guy could just sit on the Gaia Lush and heal himself up, and that's exactly what... Nope, they actually hit that both at the same time. Also, what you can do is drop a mana down. That's the other option. You can drop a mana down, then that'll get you Gaia Lush, and this guy will heal back up to full HP. No problem. Also deciding to get this relic. This relic was the Hero Lifesteal, which is nice if the Mister decides to go into any large amount of myth units. And it looks like we have Rashu coming in. So this is the one which is very, very obnoxious. So if we just look at Mr. Rashu here, so he is the one with the Fey Beasts. And Fey Beasts has been nerfed since the initial release of it. It's been halved in divine damage. Divine damage is like true damage from any other game, basically. And it's still so obnoxious, especially if you pair it with the Earth Wall, where something can't run away. It's just horrible. I don't know whether Kvoth's noticed that he's actually being attacked from this. Hopefully he does notice he does. And he's on the Gaia Lush, so he'll be absolutely fine there. Doesn't want to lose anything for free. Chongqi's coming back, but hero units are fine. Terma's sitting there. Doesn't need to put that back in yet. Although it would be nice for his hero citizens to shank back on those myth units, actually. So that's not a bad idea to get that relic in the temple. After that early aggression, it looks like both players sitting back. We're getting Thea in for Gaia. Standard pick Thea, really. Thea gives you your Dryads and Stymphalian Birds. Stymphalian Birds probably not the best in this matchup, but Dryads are good in any matchup. Fey Beast in. Looks like Chongqi's found an Oracle there. Bit of a sloppy Oracle placement. Could have hidden it a little bit, but I'm sure the Chongqi was just attack moving anyway, so I'm sure he would have found it anyway, but don't want to get those guys in the middle of nowhere. But he does have 60 favor in the bank and has plenty of resources to build more if he wants to. But this could be could be a fast mythic option, but it looks like it's going to be full Contarius. Once you see the military barracks spam just before the third age comes in, you can expect that to be a full Contarius action. This Baihu White Tiger is absolutely insane. It's got like an Anubis jump on steroids, and it's extremely strong. White Horse Cavalry coming in from the Mista. These are very gold hungry, so they cost 85 gold. They cost a fortune, so it's very, very difficult to get to the Mythic Age if you're building those. And we do see that maybe the Mista wants to go to the Mythic Age. He can just get all these guys to go onto gold if that's what he's after. He does have the forward ballet. Also getting a little bit of White Tiger Cavalry coming in here. This guy can garrison in the manor. Yep, really, really nice play there. Kvoth, on top of his eco units, takes down one of those for free because of the extra healing that we get from Gaia here. So Kvoth playing this one nicely so far. Not overreacting to anything. And we do have Gong Gong pre-queued. Gong Gong is the Great Flood man. And we will be seeing a Great Flood. Be a good idea for Kvoth to get Masons in. Masons is a pretty big counter to it. It also does deal decent damage to units also. We have just the army chilling over here. We have gold mine here. Could easily push onto this gold mine here with a little wall. Also, whenever he wants to take down this earth wall, he absolutely can. You only need to take down a certain amount of pieces of the earth wall. It used to be 8 on the original patch, but these are now wider, so I don't know if it's still 8 or whether it's something like 5 or 6. We'll have to test that one out. But basically, each one that you take down, they all get a little bit less HP until you take down an X amount, and then they go down. So this gold mine will also open up to him whenever he wants. And it looks like the tower rush didn't really do too much, apart from forcing Kvoth into those early watchtowers. Terma just checking that third town center, also making sure that silo isn't being grabbed. New war stuff going on down here. Houses coming in, walls coming in. Looks like Kvoth has sniffed out that there could be a Gong Gong timing, and he's gone, okay, I need to attack now. The Fey Beast Earth Wall combo coming in. There's a lot of myth units here, though. They can just take down the Fey Beast relatively quickly, and it looks like that's what's happened. Baihu going down. Unfortunately, Terma not attacking the Baihu. But not to worry, everything goes down. Everything very low HP here, though, from the Fey Beast, so needs to run back. Needs to try and get some of these earth walls down. There isn't that many units for the Mista, though, because he is halfway through Gong Gong, so Kvoth did sniff that one out very, very nicely and tried to get a little bit of a timing going. Fey Beasts and 50, I think it's 50 for the earth wall. Is that how much it costs? 75 plus 15. So actually 75 favor gone for the Mista. So that's a fair amount of those Yinglong big snakes that the Mythic Age Noir player definitely wants to make. But it looks like we do have a palace coming up in the middle of the map to secure some more gold mines. Also securing this gold mine. Would like to see the old cheeky wall. We do have 500 gold in this one, 3,000 gold here. But those are the only 2 gold mines that the Mista has secured. I assume his idea would be some kind of big Gong Gong attack into getting his next gold mine. This one's probably the best bet, or maybe this one over here. One idea of the... Oh, we do see a Great Flood. Great Flood coming in to push the units away. And we'll do a decent amount of damage. Those units probably won't actually make it to the palace. So just prioritizing the damage on the units rather than any damage to the buildings. So Masons actually didn't matter then. But all these guys... the majority of these guys survived, but the big special coming in from... unfortunately didn't go for those low HP ones. If he had gone for some of those low HP ones, there so many would have died. He needs to get a house or one of the economic guilds up over here to heal these guys up if that's what he chooses to go for. But instead, looks like he's just trying to secure this gold mine. Hero Terma coming through. Unfortunately going to lose that hero lifesteal relic. Didn't manage to put that one back. Time to go off the town center, though. There is a couple of these Yinglongs, Qinglongs, and we do see Terracotta Riders out, Carnivora in response. These are kind of like mercenary that die over time, and then they get left with 1 HP. but you can only use them once, unlike Mercenary with the Egyptians that you can just spam out. So these guys are going to chase the heavy Cantarius away. And we're not seeing Kvoth think about Mythic Age. He just wants a hard push in this Heroic Age to deal with these, or get some kind of gold starve. Needs to get some, needs to get some Hero Arcus out. I'm sure that's what he's going to go for. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get this frontline heroics for his heroes there. Military camp still out. There's so many of these snakes. Needs to try and get some heroes. Heroes are being converted, but they just take a long time. He's already half HP. They aren't the strongest with their normal attacks, but their AoE ability is just ridiculously strong. It looks like the one hero is actually enough to force them out. He doesn't have much favor as well. Just needs more oracles. Oracle just coming out as I said that. He doesn't have much pushing power though, the Mista. So a bit of a stun there from this Li Jing gentleman. He does a ridiculous amount of damage, but might die to the palace actually. But while this is happening, the Mista settlement secures his gold mine, which is exactly what he was after. These guys might go on a bit of a raid. This is a very good map, actually, for the scary snakes, because they can just hide over these palm trees from the Hero Arcus. Then what can they really do about it? Double Hesperids tree. Most of that gold mine going down, securing his middle gold mine. Lots of machine workshops. And a secured gold mine with keeping 500 gold in the base. Very, very nice idea. If he is ever pushed off of this, he's got 500 in the base to look after there. Now, what's the idea for Kvoth here? Because the Mista has stabilized. He's got his gold mines. The gold starve on that gold mine didn't work, on the third gold mine. So what is the play here? He can go for some kind of mythic age push with an implode would be one option. He could just go full force in the Heroic Age, try and take down the town center, or just kind of go for some raids on these gold mines. Looks like he's going for a raid on this top gold mine. Looks like he's definitely spotted that one. Or just sniffed it out. Maybe not spotted the villagers, but just thought that maybe that's where they would want to go. And that is a nice little villager kills down there. Must assume that Mista is down here though. And then those military camps finally taken out, so Kvoth can get his third town center. So we're 3 town centers apiece now. Pretty much full villages each, and that special is absolutely crazy. What's their range? 12 range. How many Hero Arcus do we have? 3 Hero Arcus. And then that is it. Atlas coming in. I'm not sure if flying units get sucked in by the implode. I guess we will see. The other thing is these myth units aren't so good when the Sage is in. Sage has an absolutely disgusting attack to steal some units. Needs to be careful with these Cantarius. Nice reaction. Still loses a couple, but actually only loses one, but nice reaction. Straight into the palace there. Would love to see this guy just drop an economic guild down, this hero citizen. That's what he's going to do. He's going to repair the palace. What the economic guild does is it drops down some lush, and all these guys would be healing up very, very slowly, but it's healing up nonetheless, considering how low HP they are. He does, I assume, have, Lance of Stone, Heavy Cavalry, Poseidon Secret, all of the Thea upgrades. Versus no special horse upgrades for the Mista, but he has these guys to deal the DPS. We'll try and run away. Oof. Brutal. Mista is managing to secure this top gold mine, getting markets up. We'll probably wall off this situation and stabilize pretty nicely. Halberdy is here to deal with the Cantarius spam. Also trying to get a Bowlay up on this side to secure his next gold mine, which should be this one over here. Nice reaction from Kvoth there. Hero Arc is trying to chase these around. Is it ever worth getting Hero Terma? Hero Terma obviously aren't as good. They don't deal as much damage, but they're fast. They could be able to chase these guys down rather than your Arcus that just don't have that much speed. Just an idea. Don't know if it works or not, but an idea. Ballet trying to go up in the face, but Kvoth gets that one out. Implode going to come straight down on the back, so he can't really retreat very well. Really nice play. Should delete most of these units, to be honest. And that'll be all the population for the Mista going down. Maybe some of the heroes will survive. One guy with 20 HP goes down. Nice little bit of damage, but the Mista does have 3 town centers, almost full villages, gold mine secured, so it's going to be pretty tough. Also, didn't deal with the army of water snakes here. Even to destroyers with 76% pierce armor, that is pretty terrifying. Also, taking out a hero. Making the most of this power spike though, just going for the fortified town center. Arcus need to run away, deal with these units. The Mista respects it. Might just sack the town center. Lots of peasants here, putting a big stop to the eco. How many heroes are here though? That's the question. There are no heroes. All the heroes are over the other side, and it's a tale as old as time for this game, where the heroes need to be in position to deal with these disgusting creatures. Unfortunately, the Arcus are going to get caught out here by the champion White Horse Cavalry. A lot of peasants going down though. So 78 peasants and town center down. Just needs to constantly spam this area. What sort of myth units does Kvoth have access to? So he has Finalists birds. These guys have 2 times multipliers versus myth units, but the Finalists birds might be able to do something to them. But then that's favor that you're not going to be spending on converting the Arcus heroes, which are probably his best bet. And the Terma heroes that I said before, when the champion White Horse Cavalry just melt them. Needs to push back, needs to get full population before going forward. Kvoth also does have fortified town centers, where the Mista doesn't, if we see one of his town centers. Oh, he does. That was because he's lost it. Maybe he's missing. Is he missing a house? Well, look at this big fight. Huge stun, and the Qinglong special still coming in. Lots and lots of hero arcs this time, though, to deal with them. But they can just use their special and run back, which the Mista is doing extremely well. Wall coming up here, as we said. So this is purely going late game. Citizen coming in. Huge stun back, or not huge stun. Needed to use that manually, I think. The big snakes are doing a lot of damage, but I think the army is of the Gaia is doing pretty well. Unfortunately, those Arcus aren't really using their DPS though. I think some levy soldiers for Kvoth might need to come through here. Champion Notarius, Heavy Mamillo. Probably a pretty good comp against the Halberdier White Horse Cavalry comp. Such a disgusting map for these guys. Now the option here is where do you actually kind of push? You're gonna need some fast heroes to be anywhere on the map where these snakes want to go, and it looks like the snakes are coming here. I think Kvoth wants to wall this section off. Absolutely brutal. Just massing up an army, getting the frontline heroics. So why this is such a good option is it costs less resources to promote to heroes, and he needs to promote so many heroes against the Mista's comp here. There we go. They were missing houses, I said. A little bit Cantarius raid coming on the market. These guys take down buildings extremely quickly. 16.2%, 16.2 attack damage per second, but there is a lot of champion White Horse Cavalry here. Cantarius are a little bit faster though. Decides to turn around and fight this with the Carnivora. Not sure he's going to win that one, but maybe a bit of a distraction to then push the front. Looks like that's what's going to happen. Oh, they implode really hit those, didn't it? Just decides to sack those to come on the front. So many heroes. Absolutely huge stun. But there is 11 hero archers here. Should be able to take down a couple of those. One down. This is like the mini game to win the game. He's taking down these guys. There's another one coming in the queue. How much favor are there? 26 favor. It's quite a lot. Terracotta Riders coming through to deal with the heroes, but is winning the main fight down here. Ox Caravans. There's a trade up for the Mista. This Li Jing stun is just so obnoxious. Where are the heroes? The heroes having to deal with the Terracotta Riders that do get... What is this one? Extra armor. Disgusting. 8 survive. 8 survive to try and go over after these guys. Some Wuzu Javelineers though to deal with the champion archers. Also the Mista trying to secure that side with a wooden wall. Palace back up in the middle though, so Kvoth is managing to secure this gold mine. He hasn't started a trade yet, I don't think. We go over here. Where is his market? He has started this little trade, but obviously needs to get the market in a better spot. He just started it where he built it earlier just to advance to the next stage or trade his resources. The Dryad extra population army though, obviously coming into play a little bit, but the trade from the Mista is far superior. That gold mine is fully finished though. It looks like the Mista doesn't have any gold mines though, so even though his trade is better, he's not getting any gold. So he really does need this one if he wants to just pump out some units. Looks like he's got 18 caravans compared to 18 gold gatherers plus the caravans, so including the caravans, let's say. I think the only unit that Kvoth really needs to micro are these hero archers here. See what the armory upgrades are like. So we've got bronze, everything except iron shields, which makes sense when you're going against these guys. And the Mista's he's got full bronze, so pretty similar upgrades here. The Mista was missing his champion inventory, but that is coming in now. These units trying to go after the hero here to deal with this constant stun on these dryads. Also, he has an aura to stop the dryads doing extra damage also. Looks like we're getting a big raid up here on the Mista's wood economy, but I mean, he's got wood for days. That's not the best thing to say, but he does have wood for days. So the raid probably not going to do too much, but Kvoth's not really going to know that. He's still going for these really gold heavy units. If we can get back down here with the dryads, yes, do a little bit of a raid on these markets, even send a citizen forward to get something done. But it looks like the Cantarius are coming through, and a little bit of an attack this side. The best thing to do in this late game is to split up. Rather than go full one area, you want to split your units up. And I'm just going to go in the settings here. My VC. Looks like we're losing a bit of FPS here. But hey-ho, we carry on. Yes, military barracks carrying up here, so you can just spam out the units to deal with this. Also pushing this side to make sure that the Mista can't change his market positioning to this corner. Absolutely love the play. Also going over after the fortified town center. Heroes, Arcus running back to not get hit by the big snake special. Town center does go down. Now just flood units here to make sure that he cannot get this back up. But maybe not flood them straight into the snakes. A wasted Li Jing special though, needs to definitely capitalize on that. This guy just needs to be targeted down. The Chinese heroes are ridiculous. I'm not sure where these guys are going, but really nice play here. Love the watchtowers to just pick off the ox carts. Not sure the Mista has noticed that yet. Are there any villagers there to really do anything? Destroyer getting down the Baolet, which doesn't have... Looks like it does have boiling oil, so this guy will go down eventually. It does, taking 6 damage a shot. Kvoth moving on to the front gold mine, which is the last gold mine off the map. I'm pretty sure this one's down. So that is 4,000 left. So he will need to get a decent trade himself. So whether that comes down here or he's going to push off this area and get himself a trade in this bottom left corner here. Or even just from the middle. Basically anywhere that's far away, he just wants to go. Looks like the big snakes have been tasked with clearing up this. That is a lot of population. What are these? 5 population? They are 4 population. So move over to Mista's perspective. That's 20 population over there trying to deal with that. Plus all the horses. We're talking 40, 50 population worth of army there. So that's half his army actually dealing with that. So Kvoth going after the next one. There's no masons in for the Mista, so these raids on the town centers are much better than they otherwise would be. But all the archers are going to go down, everything going to go down. But the town center is also down. Bit of a trade. Dryads should win this fight, to be honest, against the White Horse Cavalry, just constantly putting in pressure up on this position. This is also free population for our Gaia player here, because these guys, they don't cost any population. Crazy unit. Even just distracting some population there from the Mista rather than taking down the trade is honestly good enough. There's all, I mean, town center's down everywhere. It's got a massive population advantage here. Needs to just spam out these units. Does he have his levy upgrades yet? On the wrong perspective. Doesn't have his levy upgrades. Really worth getting this, or just spam out more barracks. He does have 12 military barracks. If you get this, minus 20% on the build time. One of those late game upgrades that I forget all the time, but it's very, very good. Because these guys would all be out by now. This town center's back up. Needs to come over and deal with this one. Gold. Still 2,400 left. Nice market. And looks like the peasants are going to be repairing this wooden wall. But the Dryads, I mean, they should get through eventually with this 4th one, right? Right, it's actually slowly going up. I think the 4th one should... No, it's just going to slowly go up. You just need one of them to attack somewhere else. And play that kind of game. The champion destroyers coming in, though. Seeing if this settlement's back up. This guy, man. Buff the Greek heroes. That's what we're about here. Buffing the Greek heroes. Imagine this strat against the Greek heroes, actually. This would be absolutely disgusting. It's alright. 8 Dryads will definitely be enough. The wooden walls, up to stone walls. 1 big snake coming over, plus Li Jing will be enough to deal with that one. And the Mista getting his settlement back. Myth units plus 5% speed, never picked up. That'd be so big for these guys. They'd be able to run away from the hero Arcus even better. Oh, these have 89% pierce armor, and they're going down to pierce attacks. Does it do divine damage? Does divine damage. Okay, there you go. Who knew? Everything does divine damage now. Destroyers coming in for another raid on the Mista's town center. Does it have masons yet? It does not. The masons is pre-queued, but does not have the wood income. The wood raid from earlier coming in absolutely clutch, and that will not be up in time. The Mista's fortified town center is going down at the price of a lot of destroyers. Dryads coming back over here to deal with this. Still trying to push that side. Kvoth doesn't have any walls up, which is interesting. Just deciding to just go raw. Not putting the walls up himself. Just doesn't want to waste the time or resources doing that. It's the story of this game is these guys. How do you deal with them? Seven of them. 5 oracles in though, 47 favor in the bank. Could be enough just to get some hero units whenever you want. Would it be a good idea to get hero destroyers out? These guys deal 0.25 against heroes. If you get your 20 hero destroyers out, put them on the fortified town center, then the special doesn't do as much damage. It still does divine damage, but it's also a raid coming this side with the Dryads. Fnatic trying to just get a little bit of a nuisance going on. Just take Mista's perspective off of this. But Kvoth really trying to make this push happen. Palace coming forward. Decent amount of citizens here to repair it also. Good, honestly, a good counter to flying units. Palaces with their, doesn't quite have iron weapons, but bronze weapons. And the Mista calls that one, and Kvoth takes that first game. Honestly, these snakes were so annoying. I don't even know how Mr. Kvoth managed to get this one through, but a really well played game. Just the constant Dryad spam over here with the market. He was everywhere, whereas the Mista was in one position for most of it. Obviously, he was getting a lot of raids off, and a lot of value from the snaky boys, but really well played by Kvoth there. A nice 35-minute first game, which puts Kvoth up 1-0. We'll have a look at the total military resource value, and that was just it. I think the constant raids and everything on the Mista's eco. How many villages did he have? Yeah, so he lost quite a lot of villages. And wow, what a first game there. Let's have a look at the old timeline. Resources collected. Kvoth in the lead because Gaia. And yeah, let's go for the second one. So we have game 2 here, ready to go. Kvoth versus the Mista. Kvoth taking the first game. And right at the start of this game, I said, I think this is my final. Luckily, there is a loser's bracket, so whoever is out of this, these guys could still make it to the final. And Kvoth showing that he definitely is good enough to tackle the Mista. So we have the map Ghost Lake. It is Kvoth on the Set and Mista on his Zeus. Now, something to note is when the Mista played the last tournament, so it wasn't Red Bull, it was Genesis. He said that he felt a lot of pressure, and then as soon as he lost, the pressure just went away. So I wonder whether the Mista will just step up his game completely now. Unfortunately, not going to pull back. This happens sometimes. I have put out a video about this recently about how to actually herd these animals. If you want to check it out. Basically, when they get attacked, you can just pull back, and he would have been absolutely fine there. Little plug to watch that one. But the map is Ghost Lake. We do have the 1 gold mine version of Ghost Lake, so he just needs to pull this guy back, and it'll be absolutely fine. The 1 gold mine version, the Mista's gold mine is very good for any early rushes, any early kind of shifting sands onto the, like, if there's a front gold mine, it'll be pretty disgusting. Whereas Kvoth's gold mine is awful. This is as bad as a gold mine gets. The only saving grace is that he is set, they get 3 watchtowers, and there is a watchtower here. Now, here we go. Houses coming up to protect said watchtower, because Zeus more than likely see this gold mine and go, okay, Minotaur, Hoplite, rush with your 2 heroes onto this gold mine is what I would expect. I don't think anyone goes Centaurs anymore, just because Minotaurs are so strong. They do a Centaur's job, but are also tanky. Maybe they don't do as much damage, but you can play a lot sloppier with a Minotaur, and it's a lot easier to get wins. So I would expect Temple up here, or Temple. There needs to be some kind of defense for this gold mine. Also, just getting us a couple of priests out as well to deal with it. Early advance time is what I would go for. It looks like he did go for the pickaxe, so not going for like a really fast advance time. Getting a second monument as well, so not going for a fast advance time at all. The Mista historically has gone for a 330 in the Zeus in other games, and it is exactly what he's going for through Athena. And that is kind of, it's not the fastest advance time that a Zeus can get, but it's a safe advance time for a rushing Zeus. You can go 1 earlier, 14 out of 15 population, not build a house, and still get your Theseus out if you're Poseidon, or get your Jason out if you are the Mista here. Looks like the Auroch being out here didn't slow him down too much. He just decided to get another one in, which is a fine trade there. So, set on this map, there is a decent amount of random animals about. There's quite a few. Random wolves, random wolves. Got an Auroch, also stealing the Auroch away from the Mista. Very nice play from the priest here. We can see their point of view. So he did use that very early vision. He can get clairvoyance to get them back, probably to see what the goat situation was. Holy goats. Has so many goats here. 13 versus 13. Actually equal here. And it looks like are there any more goats left over? There's a couple left over, but essentially equal. I don't think there's any problem there. Orcs coming back. House is coming up, as we said. Looks like the Mista did get that 3:30 advance time. Jason having a look. Kataskopos found the priest going for Arctic Wolves. I think Jason will just run over there and say sorry, but the priest is going. Mista knows that's coming. Kvoth knows that's coming, sorry, from the Mista, so he's running away. Villager regen could be pretty nice for if there's going to be any early aggression. Surprised that actually the Mista didn't come out early and bolt this priest. That is something that you can do against Set, is you can bolt the priest. Really nice bit of micro here. Kataskopos getting in the way, and the priest might be able to get healed up, but probably is going to go down with that nice bit of micro. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. Not going for anything actually early. Does he go for any early... I don't even know where the Minotaur is, to be honest. Minotaur just sitting on this gold mine. So not deciding to go for anything, going for a town center. Basically just making Kvoth do this. That was what that early advance time did. It made Kvoth put his temple here. It made him put his house wall down, get all the defensive buildings in, and actually Kvoth is going barracks. Does he know that the Mista is getting a town center? He's going to spot it here with this baboon of Set. So he is going to know. The snakes can go down. Don't know how... snakes could go down here, and I think snakes would be a very good idea to just delay this. I would definitely do it. Nice play. The snakes are just annoying. They just slow the villagers down. They're going to have to run around this side, but some snakes will get over there. Snakes is a terrible god power, so you might as well use it in a situation like this. Minotaur well placed to deal with it, though. Looks like Kataskopos coming in to see what's going on. He will spot the barracks, I think. Has spotted the barracks, and the snake's going to come here. Settlement up for the Mista. A new bite trying to get a little bit of harass in, but the villagers will run away and not too much happening there. Looks like the Mista did grab that relic to regen the villagers up, so that'll be nice against the Guardian. A new bite there. A new bite coming in. Nice bolt. And it looks like Kvoth is going for that classic wage push with the Anubites, just going full heavy on Anubites. Moving forward, it does mean that he can come out onto his forward huntables. And look at all this hunt here. You don't often see a pack like that. 10 caribou. Saving that for later because it's got very good defenses. Gold mines as well. Not too bad. These guys, unfortunately, idle. Happens sometimes. Sometimes they attack the aggressive huntables. Sometimes they don't. Anubite's trying to come through. That relic for the Mista actually was very strong against some kind of raids that are going to come in. Spearmen are going to be greeted with a Minotaur special to the dome, so have got to worry there. But attacking two places at once, always the way to go if you're going for these raiding styles. Needs to pick one of them off though, because he can't have that regen and then runs out. Loses one spearman, but does pick off one villager there. Heracles in. Heracles, I mean, I think he's still going to lose these 4 spearmen, but he would take out a couple. And then he could run away. Jason trying to pick up this relic. Town centers get more population. Bit of a late game relic, but it is a very strong one. If it does go to late game, and seeing how the first game went, I have no... I could imagine this going late game. Then Wolves regen. Bit of a strange one there. One of the new relics. Not the strongest, but it is what it is. Armory coming up. Looks like the Mista wants to go to the Heroic Age, either through Apollo or going through Dionysus, getting a bronze push. I think Mista, he's done both. He's done the kind of play where he goes, needs to just jump back this way. Can he jump through? Nice. Gets through the snowy pine. These jumpy boys. Priest can heal him up as well. So I think Mista has done both kind of options where he's gone through doing the Dionysus big huge bronze push. It's something that you can do if you get a really good timing off of the 2 town center eco into the big bronze timing push. You can do it off 1 town center as well. It's how I prefer to do it because I like the 1 town centers. But also you can go the other way, get an underworld. This map is can be pretty large, pretty hard to traverse with all of this situation in the middle. So what he can do is go for an underworld straight to the main base with a load of hoplites. Hoplites are probably going to be the units of choice here. I mean, maybe it would be Hippaspis to go up against these spearmen. Probably Hippaspis, to be honest, if he waits to get to the next stage. Guardian and Nubite stuck, but Minotaur not upgraded, so not really that strong. Does manage to jump back on there, and actually the Mista's just going to turn around and shank. This is actually quite a lot of HP regen. Absolutely huge relic. If we can actually take down this temple and steal it, it wouldn't be the worst call. There isn't enough units to really deal with that. Maybe the double heroes? Maybe that's scaring him off? Or is he just not seen the temple? Or maybe just hasn't clocked that relic's here. He has seen the temple. It's not even a bad shout. I think a lot of people don't give relics the credit that they deserve. I think relics can really change the game. I'm also the same. When I play, you can just get tunnel vision and just not bother seeing it, especially with this stupid bug where they appear in the top left. I just find it like a almost effort to actually look over there. It sounds stupid, but just grinds my gears, it does. Copper shields, copper weapons coming in. Wants a very strong classical army. 2 more Anubites. Going through Sekhmet will also get the boosted HP and damage for these Anubites that you get by going up to the next stage. Also trying to get some raids off here. So the Mista's eco is obviously ahead, but it's probably only just paid for itself by now, maybe just. He's also getting a little bit of harass is Kvoth, the set player here. So I think it's still a pretty even game. You can get some really nice timings with this. The only thing is you don't really get a big power spike with going through Sekhmet. Unfortunately, these guys are getting caught out. They got stuck on the trees, and now they're stuck in the trees, but they can't be attacked. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but the Manticore special is going to come in and absolutely erase those guys. That's so unlucky. I don't know if he jumped in there for safety, but it looks like the siege tower is coming out very, very quickly. I thought he was just going to Migdal Stronghold up in the face of the Mista, playing this like this is Age of Empires 2, getting a castle up right in the face of his opponents. Manticore's coming out. Manticore's going to deal with these spearmen really nicely, but the priests are in. Elephant, Scarab, Siege Tower combo. Siege Tower's garrisoning in here, so the Mista can't actually see a scout over there, just in case the set player Kvoth here decides to change his strategy, go for a 2-town center delayed. Priests can deal with these. Elephants do have a decent amount of pierce armor though, and this copper shields, copper weapon, copper armor, a really nice play. Only the one siege tower. I was expecting a second one. I guess the Scarab's here, so maybe that's just like a second siege tower. Healing up the very expensive units as well with the priests. And this is what the set is here for. He is here for a timing attack. Heroes in to deal with the Manticores. Need to micro those pretty nicely. If he uses easy military grab, it's so easy to miss the Pharaoh. Happens to me all the time, and it's very, very frustrating. Priests need to be retargeted on those Manticores, because the Manticore special, when it comes to, going to absolutely eviscerate the spearmen. But town center is down. Manticores coming out. More of them. Needs to back up. Priests need to heal up the big, strong units. Scarab managed to survive through that as well. Huge to keep the Scarab alive. Priests. Kvoth probably going to queue a couple more priests up here. Priests needs to be healing while this is going on. I love the strat. Expensive units, priests to heal, and he is absolutely doing it. Unfortunately, the Pharaoh did go down. I think he must use easy military grab. It's just the Pharaoh isn't included in that and can be very frustrating. Oh wow, like 3-hit a farm? That's something that I didn't know. Looks like Spearman already over here to deny this gold mine, but Jason is here. Loads of Spearmen coming through. We're going to watch Kvoth's perspective on this. I think he is the one that is attacking. Priests are getting targeted down by those hoplites though. Needs to bring those priests back. Looks like he's preoccupied with this huge raid of villagers over the other side. Villagers don't have the hunting equipment or whatever it's called now. Underworld passage in to try and save these villagers. The villagers are healing up pretty nicely, but this is just the go button for Kvoth to go over the other side. The Mista can obviously dart in and out of this underworld passage. War elephants surviving. Priests healing them up. So even though Kvoth doesn't have as much eco, he didn't have the second town center, didn't have the extra villagers, healing up these expensive units is like having eco. Something that I like to do, I like to play Isis, and I use a second prosperity instead of maybe going for the second town center, because you also get that plus benefit of the eco. That's got special. is absolutely disgusting though. Need these priests to actually target those down. Does see them. How many priests are we looking at? For some reason I can't change the perspective of Kvoth. Only the 4 priests. Just need to sit back. The Mista's score is ahead, but I don't think he's just strictly ahead. I think this has been a pretty damaging attack from the set player here. Manticores are scary though. That is the only thing. Guardian, a new bite trying to get a little bit of damage in. He needs to bait out the Manticore special. If he can bait out the Manticore special and then go in, unfortunately, got that elephant out a little bit too early. Peltas as well to deal with the chariot archers. The priest again is going to do the same thing as last time. It's something you need to hold ult and then grab that guy. Just a thing. Just a thing you've got to know. Gold mine up here. Has plenty of resources if he wants to get a Migdal stronghold down, but the Mista needs to defend this. Maybe he could send a couple of hoplites through there over here. I mean, he probably doesn't know that that's going on, right? No, he hasn't scouted it because he needs his units back in his base to defend this threat here. Thoth coming in. Thoth with a huge meteor power spike. If he gets a massive meteor here, the Mista does have the underworld passage to jump through, but if he can get him out in a spot like this, the Mista must know that there was a score drop there. He's quite far behind in the score, and that means that Thoth is definitely queued up. So the Mista knows that this is his timing. Nice little bit of garrison micro, but the Manticore's doing so much damage. Scarab will do a decent amount of damage when he dies to these hoplites, but there's just not enough units behind to actually deal with this. And this is the timing that the Mista needs to capitalize on. Migdal stronghold going down. Not enough units to actually deal with this. Just going to sack the units and go back. Build a Migdal stronghold here. Going to lose the 2 Migdals. Going to lose his whole army and hope that the Thoth power spike is enough. But needs to get a decent amount of units out. Also, he's not going to be gathering gold for a while. And this was just capitalizing on being able to read the score from the set player there. Migdal stronghold up. That's when the Mista's going to come forward with 26 Zeus hoplites. It's absolutely scary. Temple of Healing. No, it's Oracle for the line of sight. Excuse me. Villagers. Signal fires. So he's gone Signal fires and Oracle because he wants to see. So he's actually coming up to this gold mine now with a handful of units going over to this gold mine. He knows he needs to shut down the gold mine of Kvoth, and these medium hoplites are absolutely going to do that job for him. Heavy coming in. These guys are going to go straight down. Coming over here, the spearmen are medium spearmen against heavy hoplite. We all know who wins that fight. Hoplites are going to do very well there. Little 1 chariot archer raid. Thoth in. Can he use it straight away? I don't think there's any way he can use it straight away. If he uses it next to an underworld, what can you really do? You can use it on this army maybe? But the army can run away. The army is split really nicely from the Mista. The Mista spends a 55 favor bolt there to take down the Phoenix. It's not worth it if you keep the Phoenix egg alive though. Then it's a waste of 55 favor. Just needs Odysseus to keep on that guy. Unfortunately, gets a little bit distracted. Probably presses his whole all button. He's going to use it on the units here. Just needs to defend. Doesn't obviously know that the Mista's units are coming over. Or how close they are, sorry. Knew they were coming over, but didn't know how close they were. Does take a decent amount out, but he is still down a lot of villagers. And Mista does get his second town center back up. And now it's just, can Kvoth defend this position, defend this gold mine? Another Phoenix coming. Is that the Phoenix from the egg? I think it's the Phoenix from the egg. But even the bolt was enough to just delay. And that is the Mista taking game 2. And this was all on the back of the Mista seeing the score drop of set and going, he's going Mythic Age. Everything that I've got, I'm going to attack now. And that was basically that. I think I really liked Kvoth's play, though. This is how I like to play set. I just much prefer that kind of game plan. It's just much more interesting to me. And it's a shame that he couldn't make it work. It was so close to making it work. But this is the thing with the 2 town center player, is even though the second town center goes down, we see it went down. Settlements captured it. So he had it for, well, like 6-7 minutes there. So 6-7 minutes, 7 minutes times 4, 28 villages, quite a lot ahead. And even though he lost a couple, that is basically what he stayed in front there. After losing a few, he stayed, what was that, 15 villages ahead. So really 15, 26, 20, 25. We'll get there in a minute. And yes, we'll go into the next game. 1-1. Okay, game number 3. Kvoth takes the first one. The Mista takes the second. We're on to the map Arena, which is an AoE 2 special. Or at least I think it's only in AoE 2. Maybe it's in some of the other Age of Empires games too. But the thing about this map is you start with a big wall, lots of tower. I think you get an extra tower. And it is extremely defensive. You don't actually get an extra tower. Yes, you do. You get 5 towers, and it's very defensive. Or you would think that it's very defensive. So we see Frey as the god of choice for Kvoth. Mista going in with Shenong. Shenong, I would call aggressive. I would think because he gets his free myth units, you would think that he's quite an aggressive kind of god. But the Mista decided to go in this one. Just because you start with a big wall doesn't mean that it's going to be a defensive situation. You could get some of the Yatsus, the Yazis, whatever you like to call them, press Q, hop over, and then get some raids off. So it isn't like you need to play defensive. And if we go to the Mista's perspective, which of course I wasn't on him, one thing about this map, which is quite interesting, is these towers are not linked in any way. So normally you get a lot of line of sight as a lot of favor income, from your buildings connecting as the Shenong player. But here you don't. So and the Mista does notice. I don't know whether he's practiced this match or this arena map at all. But what you could do is put the silo. I think you kind of have to do this. I guess he definitely has practice, because you can't even put the silo this side. What I was going to say is just put the silo this side, and then you can link up the tower. But you need the silo here to even link it over here. So it's a very odd kind of map. So he has definitely practiced this kind of build order. Gets the temple here to now connect these. And so it's kind of a nerf to the Chinese there, not getting your early favor income. There's also a decent amount of hunt in the base. You get 2 hunt packs, you get cows, you get berry bushes, you get chickens, you get 2 gold mines. You can sit in this base for a long, long time. The only thing you don't have in this base are town centers, but this town center is pretty good to secure this gold mine. This is a Frey town center, if I've ever seen one. Also for the Mista, his town center has a gold mine kind of close. These aurochs can be dragged underneath. These bears can be dragged underneath. It's not a bad town center either, and also it's pretty close to the stone walls there. Let's have a look at some relics. We've got this one, which is damage, pierce damage, vulnerability minus 15%. Pretty good. Ula's bow, which is the extra range on your archers, which is a fan favorite. Thunderclad shawl, which is pierce vulnerability to pierce attacks of human soldiers minus 5%. What was the other one? This is myth units, better pierce vulnerability, and this is just human soldiers. So if you're against a lot of archer attacks, like Kvoth is gonna be, it's pretty good. Then Ring of Nibelung, pretty standard, good S tier relic, gives you extra gold trickle, which it isn't much of a gold trickle, but why would you not want that one? We also do see the Mista going for quite an early advance time, considering that he's not going to be aggressed early, but it does mean that if he wants to, he can get his second town center early or do some early harass. Sky Lantern is looking up there. Does pick up that Thunderclad shawl. He doesn't need it, but he definitely doesn't want Kvoth to have that. And Chong-Chis are going to come in, these flying tiger gentlemen, they're going to come in and just harass the hell out of Kvoth, and Kvoth is going to be not enjoying that. He needs to get a decent amount of Magnus Bare Feets out. That's one hell of a name for the Hersa. He needs to get more of those guys out, and also we can see if he is getting it out. He is getting more Hersas out, and maybe some Draugrs if he gets the favor as well. Unfortunately, this Chong-Chi can come in before he's actually in the next stage. Hersa is here, but he can't do anything. 0.8 damage, but the Mista respects it because it's 430. You could advance at any moment here, and it looks like a 445 was the call for Kvoth. Let's see what that Chong-Chi is actually going to do. It does get a couple of whacks off. Actually, I did miss that. The one whack. Yeah, see, two damage because he wasn't in the next stage. He is now there. He has 8.8 damage with a 5.5 multiplier. Draugrs are going to come out. Temples. with a decent amount of these hearses are going to come out. Now, what is the Mista going for? Mista is going for a farm, and he's going to use Prosperous Seeds to drop a farm down. Does the farm should automatically do? That's what Mista thinks, right? Or does it only do it when you're on favored land? So if you're confused about the reason that he's actually done this, if you use this Prosperous Seeds, what you can do is exactly what Mista's done here. Drop those ones down, and then these guys are invisible, so they can't actually be attacked by anyone trying to raid them, like this hearse of Magnus Barefeet from earlier. He comes back again, and yeah, try to get a bit of harass there. I actually love this play. Manual abilities and god powers can actually hit them there. So if you had something like a troll special or something, and you hit Q and you knew where they were, you can stop them there. And it looks like Kvoth has seen that the Mista is going for his very defensive option over here, which was a good town center. But this one, we didn't even mention how good this town center is, has the gold mine right on it here. And he's going for a forward town center, being able to get this one a little bit later. And if we know anything about Frey, he has his Golem Bursty, he wants a forward town center. So he's getting his Asgardian Hill Fort up, he's getting his settlement in. And again, Mista, with the really annoying flying myth units, he's going to deal with this, or get some damage off with these, and have very nice micro to get them back into the forest where nobody can really attack them from. So we do see that the hearses are available there, though. And the Hearser is a bit out of position. Going to get the dwarf stuck on the side. That is one kill for the Chongqi. Chongqi run away. And the Hearser's just gotta be closer. It's like he can't be doing anything. A very frustrating unit to play against for the Norse. And we'll go back to the full map. House going down. Prosperous Seeds farm, getting some value. These actually have pretty good gather rates for farms, considering. So this farm is going to be quite a low rate, 6.2, and then this one's 0.86. Asgardian Hill Fort up though, nice and early. Settlement almost up as well. Also getting copper weapons, copper shields. Look how cheap they are for Frey. Frey gets very cheap upgrades, but everything takes double the time to come. Yes, so something like double the time, 200% of the time to come through. Have a little drink while. Oh, the action is slow. Looks like a bit of a boomy game. Who would have thought on the map arena? Is it ever worth going for a third town center, or do you just put yourself susceptible to some kind of 2-town center timing attack? One option for, I mean, Frey could obviously sit back, but then there's a lot of heroic age options for Shenong, and then the same for Frey. What the Frey player can do is go for a Bragi Flaming Weapons is one option, and he could. That was interesting. And he could also go for the Rock Giants and go that kind of route. Get a couple of Rock Giants out, put your Tempest down, and it could be extremely strong. The Chillin coming through. That's his free myth unit. Free myth units come through for Shenong. Just going to be having a scout around, seeing what's going on, making sure that there's no. He actually doesn't know about the forward town center for Kvoth. I'm assuming that he can read the scores. As we said in the last game, he definitely does read the scores. So the Mister's going to assume that one of these was taken. He's just checking this one to make sure that that wasn't the one. The Chongqi still very high HP, considering houses going up everywhere. I assume, yep, lots of upgrades coming, lots of upgrades from this side. Also, we do see Rashu coming through. Rasho, he is the Fey Beasts lad coming back again. And Fey Beasts, as we saw, well, actually, in the first game, I don't think he actually did too well, to be honest. Lots of walls coming up, very defensive position for Kvoth. Something about this map, you do get free stone walls, so walls do have a little bit of extra value. You don't need to spend that extra food and gold to get the stone wall upgrade in. Decent amount of hearses if they want to deal with this guy too. But we did see Fey Beast in the first game. It wasn't as strong as we've seen it previously. I think if you just turn and burn on them, you can do absolutely fine. If it gets dropped in the main base, though, with the Chongqi there, it can be pretty scary. I think maybe it's even worse the villagers to turn around and do some attacking on those fire archers coming through. Good to get up to the heroic age to get these bow swords, sharp mine, extra 15% gather rate on your bits there. He was also on this gold mine here because of the Fey Beasts, splitting his dwarfs in two is Kvoth. Love that play. So if the Mista wants to use his Fey Beasts on villagers, on the eco, he's going to have to choose between 5 or 7. I mean, plus these guys here. It looks like we do see a Fey Beast on the front. The dwarves are actually split in 3. Unfortunately, the Asgardian Hill Fort is not quite in position, so all of these guys are going to go down. Does manage to save 3. They were poisoned, though, so I don't know how much damage they're going to get when they come out. Needs to wait for this poison to go before he comes back. It does deal damage, but that was a pretty big hit. Did lose. I don't look like there was about 8 there, so maybe he loses 5. That's what it looked like. And actually, Kvoth is quite far behind on the villagers there. The Mista did get an earlier town center. This one's not building villagers. It is. I'm just not on the perspective. Oh dear. And then the classic Frey, Third Age. All the weapon upgrades, all the bow swords, all the sharp mines, all the everything. Huang Di coming through. Gets that very scary Nidhogg-esque Ying Long. Third town center, potentially. Rock Giant coming through. We know about the Rock Giants. Looks like just a boom off. Ballet coming in for the Mista to secure his gold mine with his earth wall and this settlement for later. Both players have access to all their gold mines, so anything that we've seen from the first 2 games, it was all about gold starves and that sort of situation, whereas this isn't going to be the case for a booming map like this. Also, it would be worth Kvoth getting out a couple of Godi, which are the hero archers, just to deal with this guy. This free guy has been very annoying. Mista was quite unlucky actually not to get a free flying tiger. Very unlucky. Feast of Renown coming in. This means that you want as many hill forts up as possible. The hill forts heal, and they also give you 1 food per second, I think it is. So it can be very strong to just spam up the hill forts and get a lot of those, or even get the Asgardian Bastion upgrade, drop those down to get the extra Asgardian Bastions there. It does cost 40 favor, and this game has had no fighting, so maybe it's not really worth it. So Divine... Oh, that was that one. I was thinking Asgardian Hill Forts don't deal divine damage. So Huang Di is obviously coming in. Pre-queued Vidar for Kvoth. He prioritized getting his upgrades first, which as Frey makes sense. The upgrades just take so long to get in. Come over here. How many battle lasers does the Mista have? Just the 2. But I imagine we're going to see the Tiger Cavalry coming in. Tiger Cavalry are very, very strong. So we do see the Yinglong coming on the back, and those dwarves, poor dwarves, are so slow. We do see these guys trying to get back to deal with them, but again, it's just such a good map for flying units with the pine trees. This guy's going to be so frustrating. It has a slow ability, which slows down all the eco, and I think the Mista is just firmly ahead here. Is going for that second 40 favor Asgardian Bastion, as we said. I would put it on this gold mine, honestly. I would put this right on this gold mine. I'd have one right on this gold mine, so then you can just garrison, and the Yinglong can't deal his absurd damage. It looks like the Mista wants to defend any potential... Kvoth wants to defend any potential rush coming in from the Mista. The Hundun, the Hundan is in. This guy packs a punch, I tell you. So does this guy. Third town center coming up. And we see the villager discrepancy. The Mista's eco is just far superior here with all the early aggression that he got with his Chongqi. Just still alive over here. Oh no, that's that guy. And Yinglong also going straight for the main base. All the units for Kvoth are over here. Rock Giant, a slow boy. It's going to take him a while to get back. needs to bring these guys back into safety off the town center. The Houndoom going to deal some big damage. Same as the Baihu if he wants to just jump in. I mean, pretty scary. There is a decent amount of units here for Kvoth, especially if the Rock Giant can get off a big taunt. Even just hitting Q now should be absolutely fine to get those in, and it's exactly what Kvoth does. Love when players use it manually rather than waiting to get the units in their positions. Also decides to go through Vidar. It's going to get that Inferno units over here for the Mista coming through, and this is when everything starts to kick off. These units going down. Kvoth needs any little army wins he can really find because his eco is definitely behind. You see the Yinglong back here dealing big damage. The wood is just really far away, so this guy actually dealing damage to the wood line is a very good shout. We're pretty much double the villagers ahead for the Mista here. But Kvoth has managed to get so many upgrades in. He's at bronze everything for the armor, and he will be at iron soon. The Mista iron one of them, and then 2 he's bronze. Fafnir gets taken over by the Sage. This guy's OP. Oh, there's a second Sage. He's managing to stand next to that Asgardian Hill Fort though. The Yinglong coming in, the nice read from Kvoth there, managing to see where that guy is. How much damage do they deal to heroes? Nothing. Nice play. Longhouses spamming up. The Mista is claiming more of the map with Baolays. All the gold mines are basically his. The Chongqi is still alive. The Godi not dealing that much damage to it, to be honest. Now back on they go. Twilight the Gods coming in. The Tempest. Don't see the Golem Bursty combo. Unfortunately doesn't manage to get this wall up. That would have been an absolutely huge wall there. Golem Bursty is coming in. Does manage to get a gate, and the Mythic Age Golem Bursty just is a terrifying unit. Throwing Axeman, dealing with the Phoenix. Unfortunately, Golem Bursty was a bit late. I think if Golem Bursty was a bit quicker, these guys would have, more of them would have gone down. Asgardian Hill Fort in the middle. All the upgrades, champion upgrades coming through. Divine Judgment, which is lots of damage, divine damage for those Dao Swordsmen coming in. Look at the specials. Golem Bursty's still getting a decent amount of value, dealing so much AoE damage. Look at this guy. Inferno coming in too. Should, again, deal some huge damage. Unfortunately, doesn't get that many, but goes straight into Kvoth's army. Kvoth definitely winning on an army front, but the eco the Mista has can just pump everything back out. I mean, he's got so much resources in the bank, and all of these queued up. So even though Kvoth's winning these fights, the Mista can replenish his army so much better. Kvoth needs to win the fights more handily than he is. Also, that's all his god powers down. The Mista has 80 favor in the bank, so can build out more myth units if he wants to. Or maybe save it for some more of these god powers. Fey Beasts, maybe again. 150 is quite a lot though. You need some big value. It does do more damage in the Mythic Age though, that is something. So the Yinglong, did the Yinglong go down? Do we see it? It's flying over here. It does heal up, doesn't it? It does. I think it heals up when it's on favored land. You can also put it over your farms and it does more damage there. Yeah, it is healing up when it's on favored land. Ridiculous amounts actually. So it definitely doesn't need to spend more favor on that one. But the Godi are in. We do have, how many Godis do we have? We have 10 Godis. Should deal with the Yinglong pretty nicely. Mista respects it. Throwing Axeman as well. Dealing a lot of damage. Look how slow these units are, man. 2.1 speed against that guy. Then he gets his Son of Osiris special out. The Mista needs to be focusing down the Godis, and that's what the Wuzu Javeliniers are here for. They're here to deal with those Godis. They're here to deal with the Throwing Axeman. And then he gets the free other Snake Boy. There's some PTSD from the first game for Kvoth, even though he did deal with them that game, but this was the Mista's first pick. Actually, it's both of their first pick gods here. Yeah, the Wuzu Javeliniers. Also getting Silent Resolve. So these are all the Berserk upgrades that are actually coming in now. So the Berserk upgrades where you get more damage when things die. You get the boosted speed when you run from a stationary position. Basically, Berserks are such a good late game unit. He's also got Twilight of the Gods, which is more HP for your human soldiers as well. And I think it's quite good against this comp. The Dao Swordsmen do have the divine damage. Look how much damage they do. But the Wuzu Javeliniers, they don't... They actually have quite a lot of damage, but they are anti-archers. So I do like Kvoth's comp here with the Berserk, and that is a disgusting amount of damage there. The villager discrepancy is getting closer. Eco still in the lead for the Mista though. I don't think there's any units here. That's why the Qinglong's here. I was thinking, why are there no miners for Kvoth here? But that is the issue, is the constant raids from the Mista. I don't think Kvoth's managed to get on Mista's eco at all, really. Apart from right at the start of the game to try and deny the town centre, he got a little bit off forcing the Mista into building those farms early. Just slightly delaying his town centre, but that's pretty much it. Throwing Axemen are in a good position to deal some damage. Berserks can run forward. There's just a huge ball here. Throwing Axemen dealing good damage though. There is also the Asgardian Hill Fort does heal up these bad boys. Wuzu Javelineers microing the back line very, very nicely. Second Tempest coming in. Just got the favor there, and all of these guys should get frozen. It's whether or not there's enough units to actually deal with this. Looks like the spam is in. It's also the Qinglong coming back over here. There's one guy, Ragnar Lodbrok, over here to deal with him. Back to the main army, they are all frozen. Wuzu Javelineers going down, and that's another huge win for Kvoth on the army front there, but he is losing a lot of his eco to these just random raids. He's got the Yinglong here, the Qinglong the other side, all the Longs coming and hitting him there. Earth Wall forcing out the Earth Wall. This is our late game Earth Wall, does have more HP, but also everything has more attack, so it should go down with relative ease. When's on here? Look at that, 880 HP. Dao Swordsman raid on the main town center. They do have their divine damage. Extra HP. They've got everything. Got everything going for them. Some throwing axemen. Some berserks. Could change some units into berserks there, but it looks like it will go down. The divine damage is just too much. Just have more damage against myth units as well. You get all the upgrades for the Dao Swordsman. They're extremely strong. Mista splitting his army well here to do the raids on this side, while also forcing a fight this side. He needs to just jump to the hill fort, or Kvoth's going to lose all these units. Dwarf's coming back to this gold mine as well. Kvoth does manage to defend this side though, nicely, but so much of his army is here. He needs it here to actually build the town centre back up to get that population though. Only 2 hill forts down. He needs to get more of those if he wants to defend and get his healing in. You spam those up. It's very difficult though, especially while the fighting is going on. You need those infantry units to actually deal with that. Town center raids still happening. Doesn't have the resources to actually build this back up either. What he'll probably do is change one unit into a berserk to do that later, but knows he needs to defend this side. Losing this town center. A lot of the Mista's units are going down. Undone coming in. And the Mista wins that one. That was all about the raids. This guy was disgusting. Basically, this map for him is absolutely perfect. You can just sit him back here. There's nothing that can attack him from the Norse player at all. Then just come back. If he needs healing, just bring him back to your base. And that was the tale of this. The eco for the Mista was just so far ahead because he could just constantly raid Kvoth. I mean, we can see if we go to the statistics, if we go timeline, civilian units, it's just boom, he was hit, boom, he was hit, boom, he was hit, and just constant chunks, and never got to that full population of eco. So 2-1 Mista. Okay, we have game number 4. We have the map Alfheim, and it is the Mista 2 games to 1 up. He has decided to go with Kronos in this one, and in the blue, Kvoth, He's going in with Fuji. Needs to win this one to stay on the winner's side of the bracket. And I'm hoping Kvoth wins this one so we go to game 5. But the map is Alfheim. Normally Alfheim can be pretty defensive. If we look at some of these cliffs, if we just zoom out fully, let's have a look at how the map has spawned for us here. So we have one of the furthest back town centers that you'll ever see in the game. The only thing is it has nothing really there. He does have, this is the Mista side. The Mista does have a decent amount of back hunt. We have a decent amount of back hunt for Kvoth here also. Settlement over here, again, gives nothing. It's not really a guaranteed good town center to take. Then if we look at the forward town centers, this is where your money is. You get your gold mines on it. This one has some gold mines kind of close. I mean, they're kind of, I don't know whether the town centers are kind of bait here because the gold mines are just a little bit split. Also, I see both of these gods as aggressive gods. I see Fuji as an aggressive god. At least I think he is. Obviously, it's still, time will kind of tell. We haven't really seen too much considering the Chinese have only been out for a few weeks. Maybe a month at this point. But Kronos historically has been a very aggressive god. But what a lot of players do with Kronos, and I imagine we'll see the Mista do something like this, is go for this early rush. So I'm going to move these guys around. He's slightly on the left. So I'm going to see, yeah, this early rush with your 2 Prometheans, your 2 Automatons, whatever you decide to go for, and then straight into the second town center. I love stuff like this. The Mista just getting all that extra value from that early game. It probably gets you like 2 more food, but in the arcade cage you have nothing to do. It's always my thing when you're in the arcade cage, any little trick that you can do, like why would you not do it? There's just no need not to. Looks like the split here, I'm not Kronos expert, but this could potentially be a second town center coming in with the 2 on food and then the 3 wood gold split. Also getting in, like we said, with the temple coming in. Kvoth, does Kvoth spot it? Let's see, he hasn't spotted it. The temple has been deconstructed. Kwafu builds faster than anything in the game. Comes up in another 13 seconds. Pioneers will be coming through. Shiyu is the god of choice, which is the Yatsus. When I've looked it up, it says Yatsus, so that's what I'm going to be going for this game. But I know it's spelt Yazi, so it always baits me in. Temple up straight away. Really nice cheeky wall here. So much value in this wall. And Prometheus was the god of choice for the Mista also. Let's go for the Mista's perspective. He's queuing the Prometheans this side. Looks like he has seen that the temple has come back up. Temple going back for the Mista, as is 100 away of each from the town center. And it looks like, I think that's what he's going to be going for. Trying to get a little bit of value in. Pioneer coming in, splitting up his Prometheans to get as much value as possible. But Kvoth is going to turn around. Does get out a second Pioneer also to scare him away. So the Mista not getting much value with this early bit, but it did force the Kwafu to come off with his gold for a bit. It did force the reaction. It's also getting the Mista enough time to get his manas over here, and meaning that the Mista is more than likely not going to get pressured off of this settlement. But he's still waiting. He's still walking over here. Najar is coming in. Najar's disgusting. It's a disgusting character. It goes so quick. Disgusting in like a good way. Like it is absolutely busted. And if the Mista knows that, or if Kvoth knows that the Mista is getting this town center, Najar can come in and deny it. The thing is with these manas and the 3 citizens, 2 of them being heroes, they do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. They build very quick. They also did a lot of damage to old Yatsu's trying to come in here. Nice little bit of micro here. The non-hero version is going to need to get something done. Najar isn't in the picture because we're on the wrong perspective. Najar is in, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Najar tanks for days, by the way. It's going to get a little bit of damage off here. There are Valors in. Valor has just got used, so this is the time to take down citizens if you want to. The Mista at any point can use his Valor to get some health back on these citizens. And what is What is Kvoth going for? He's found his back hunt. He's found myth units cost less, perfect for getting his myth unit rushes in. It's also getting houses built a little bit faster. This is what I mean. This guy tanks 4 days. Valor, perfect timing. The poison damage, look like poison damage, from this guy. I know he just does a ridiculous amount of damage. And the early aggression from a very cheap unit in the Najar here, 100 gold, 5 favor, does have to put up the building, which is going to cost you 125 wood, but absolutely worth it. Also getting that forward town center. So later town center, but the better town center. So it's going to be better town center versus the safe early town center, basically. The Mista already forced to put farm down just because walking all his villagers back here from this town center wouldn't be right. So what you want to do, get them over here, get them on wood, build the farms. The farms do build pretty much instantly with these manors here. Looks like the Prometheans did spot the town center going up. We can see that from the Mista's perspective, actually. He did definitely spot that town center going up. Also trying to get a little bit of value with these 3 bad boys. Oracle well hidden in the corner to see when this gold mine's being done. Gotta love that play. Same with this side. Oracle's being cheeky. Pioneer can take those guys out. Unfortunately, didn't spot that one. Eco upgrades, I'm sure, coming in. Eco upgrades in for Kvoth. I imagine the eco upgrades are in. They're not, but Theft of Fire is in, which is 20% boost on everything for your heroes. Now, I don't think I can use my hero hotkey to see how many hero citizens there are, but there's 2 over here. We've got 2 here. So it looks like he's got 4 so far, which would make sense with this Valor, because I think he must have valored something early. Did he Valor one of his oracles? No, so he must have 5 there. Yatsu Rush is coming in, should be able to take one down. The Valor just got used as well. It's absolutely perfect timing, but the Mista with great reaction time also managed to just take down that hero citizen. You said the Najar's disgusting. There he is. Jump onto this gold mine. Mista has to jump back onto the cows. He's not got a good gold mine. This was why I was saying this town center might be bait. It's so close. It's so close to your main base. It's so far back. You think it's defensive, and it is, but it just doesn't give you the gold mines. Mista's next gold mine is here, I guess. But the slow citizens waddle around. They don't have enough. Cairo Ballista hero coming in should be able to deal with that low HP one. Nice little bit of movement. They are 5.5 speed, can dodge that. We do see Rhea coming in. Rhea has the ability to steal a unit away from the opponent. I don't think it can be a hero. So hero Cairo Ballista cannot be stolen. Not paying attention is Kvoth there. Nice snipe from the Mista. Getting a lot of value. That Cairo Ballista just with that. Najar coming in. Oh, the Valor. The absolute clutch Valor. Needs to get some more... what am I talking about? Rhea is the Mistas. He can't steal a Cairo Ballista. He can steal a Yatsu away. Come on. Come on. Go Mang coming in. Mr. Go Mang for Kvoth. Will obviously give a boost when he gets up to the next stage for his Yatsus. Very nice. Secures this gold mine. Secures this gold mine. Wall up. Secures this gold mine. Nice wall on the front. Getting his half off the map very nicely. The Mista only has this gold mine. 1200 left. Kronos gets his double behemoth, which I absolutely love. Just makes Rhea such a better pick when you're Kronos rather than Gaia, because Gaia only gets the one behemoth, and one behemoth is just... It just doesn't deal enough damage. You need a second one to really pack a punch. Also getting this new updated Ocrillium mail, if that's how you say it. So you get minus 15% hack armor vulnerability. So plus 15%, I guess. Also does manage to spot the Oracle. Counter barracks. He tried to be cheeky, did the Mista there. His counter barracks can just try and ship this one back if he wants to. Probably will lose it though. Fire archers in. Do you see a little bit of a raid, or attempt of a raid on the main base of Kvoth for the Mista. Sees the wooden wall. Behemoth's coming in. Will take down that instantly. Needs to get some heroes back to the main base to deal with them. One big benefit of the Behemoths is actually that they have 75% pierce armor against the heroes of... Oh, we do have a Sage hero coming in, though. Sage hero is going to come out of the Imperial Academy nice and quick. And steal one of those away for a hot second. Oh, he got sniped. Oh no, he got deleted to not get traited. Love it. Absolutely love the play. Can you traitor a behemoth that's been stolen? That is the tech. Can you take one that's been stolen and then maybe it stays yours? Not sure. Town center gets his forest protection on it, which gives you essentially Gaia healing. And then for the Mista to put a stop to this one, he needs to take down the town center. Risky play considering there's two behemoths here, but does have the Sage hero to deal with them. Does have Najjar getting extra bonus of getting up to the next age. Now has the ring toss ability to do ranged attacks, and that is well defended on the push. Peach Blossom Spring's been collected. All the gold is now coming in, getting 700, 800 gold. Gong Gong is going to be the choice. We've seen Gong Gong earlier on. He is the Great Flood guy. He gives you Great Flood. He also gives you the nice snaky boys that can do some decent damage. The big route round, actually around this big cliff, so the Mista decides to go straight for the jugular. Trying to go for the town center here. Decent amount of Mamillo. It's got that extra bonus. Look how much armor they actually have with this. I feel like Rhea is very strong now. Machine Workshop's trying to come up. I think it's going to get denied if the Behemoth just notices it. Looks like the Behemoth doesn't notice or just decides to go for this Machine Workshop instead. Also, a bit of a deconstruction on the ballet. Going down. Behemoth. Yes. So does he steal it? Yes, this is what I thought. You're going to steal it, right? Oh, no, it does actually go down anyway. Or maybe not. I think that did do exactly what I thought. So now it's not going to die after a certain amount of time. It's the play. You see? Big brain plays. We called it here first. I don't know if the Mista knew that was a thing, but I guessed that that's how it worked. Looks like the Mista guesses that too. Ballet coming up. Deconstruction not available for another calendar year. So this Ballet definitely stays up. Yazoo's going down. Ballet doing a decent amount of damage. Needs Najjar to come and deal with the Behemoth. But the Arcus is going to deal a decent amount of damage to it. Najjar needs to garrison into here, but will go down. He's cheap to rebuild. Shouldn't be that much of a problem, but he is a big offensive threat. Chokonus are in, but I think there's just too much. Look at the military difference here for the Mista, and just the score difference is absolutely massive. Gong Gong is coming in, and I think this is similar to game number 2 with the set. The Mista has realized that Kvoth wants to go Mythic Age, and he's gone, no, you're not going Mythic Age. It takes 2 minutes to get there. You've got to spend an absolute fortune to actually get to the Mythic Age. And I think he's going to have to use his Great Flood to just get those bad boys out of there. These ones are all going to get stuck on this side. Town Center will just about survive, but these units didn't get taken with the flood. They get stopped by anything. There's also a wall here. Maybe it could have been better to do it at an angle. I mean, hindsight is 2020, but that does go down. Not many military units out for Kvoth, and the eco again has just been absolutely shot. Heavy Mamillo coming in with the raids, and the Mista is looking like he's going to be able to take this game, to be honest. Najjar coming in. Najjar can solo all of these units, especially being low HP. This guy's pretty dumb, or should be able to anyway. The fire damage, not quite enough. Turn around and focus that one really nicely. Eye of Horus chilling on the ground. And what can Kvoth do here? He's got to not lose villagers. That's the first play. Once he's defended these, the Mista notices that's where all the villagers are. He also just needs to get a decent amount of buildings out. What we're going to see from the perspective of Kvoth, he's got one military camp, one machine workshop, one Imperial Academy. He's got one of everything. It's just not enough to actually get units out. It's going to be very difficult. Is he in the main base building some more buildings up? maybe. And it's going to be very tough. Deconstruction on the ballet. That's one less military building. Najar is in with the wheel attack, but villagers going down left, right, and center. I don't know if Kvoth's given up. Ballet trying to be built up, but I think the Mista is going to be taking this one. Even with the town center that I called bait, still manages to pull this one out. I loved the traitor on the behemoth. That's exactly how I thought it could work. So what actually happened was the sage hero, he converts one over to your side for a small amount of time, and then if you traitor that, you then get one for free. Maybe Kvoth's trying to prove that you don't need an army, you just need Yang Jian and Najar, the two absolute Mythic Age beasts. Maybe trying to prove a point. Also getting the divine celestial weapons in. I mean, look at this. Honestly, I think that's what he's doing. This guy's disgusting as well. Buff the Greek heroes. You don't see Perseus doing this. I don't know if it's because I played a lot of Smite, a game called Smite, where Najar is a character. But this guy feels like a MOBA character. Like he doesn't feel like he fits in this game. This feels absolutely busted. And the Mista is respecting this. He's basically just ignoring where those heroes are. He's going, Ryan, you've got the heroes. Celestial Weapons isn't even in. It's when these guys get even stronger. Look at all the divine damage those guys get. Heavy Mamela coming in. Najar dancing around. That's mad. The range on that lad. Mamelo coming in. I think they're all going to fall. Maybe the Mista is baiting the Mamilo around to go in the front, steal some town centers. Mythic Age in. Going to use Implode on this guy, the most OP, one of the most OP heroes. I think the other one's pretty OP as well. Fuji hero's down. Oh no, one of them survived. There he is. Town center back up, but going to go down straight away. Deconstruct on Ballet, number 4. And we carry on. Unupgraded Tiger Cavalry. And there we go. Kvoth decides that is it for him. Well played by the Mista. Kvoth taking the first game, but the Mista coming back and getting 3 more wins. This one, I mean, obviously the play with the traitor. Chef's kiss. But manages to defend this early town center. I think if Kvoth could have got Najar over to this town center in time, I think the game would have been very different. But when that town center was up, also that early pressure with this gold mine, maybe let up the pressure too much. Maybe it's too difficult to get a gold starve on the map Alfheim. I think it's very difficult. It's a lot of gold mines that are spread out. It takes ages to walk around this map with all the cliffs and things. But yeah, if you want to see any more of this series, this event is hosted by EGC TV. I'll link it in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.